All right, so let's jump back into some Stoic philosophy. Seems like a good time for that. This comes from chapter 5 of the Enchiridion. This is from the Good Life Handbook translation. So the idea is that it's not the things that happen that disturb you, it's your judgment of the things. So it's pretty interesting. I'll just read a piece of this real quick here. It says events don't disturb people. The way they think about events does. Even death is not frightening by itself, but our view of death, that it is something we should be afraid of, frightens us. So it's kind of interesting to think about, if you think about, death, that's a big thing. But if you think about stuff that's small, like I think I heard an interview with Ryan Holiday. He's one of the more known modern Stoic authors. He was talking about, I think it was on a podcast episode, and he said that his wife or his girlfriend, I can't remember, she kind of called him on something, and he said something like, you're really getting on my nerves right now. And she said something back to him like, I'm not getting on your nerves. Your what was it? Your opinion of the situation is getting on your nerves, or something like that. She sort of threw his Stoic philosophy back at him. And it's hard to tell how this is helpful, but when you really start to think about it, if you think about all the stuff that happens in your life, a lot of times it's your opinion of the thing that really bothers you. So if the whole thing about death, that's a hard one for me to get my head around. But at the same time, it's true, like when somebody passes away in your life, like I've talked about my dog passing away or cub passing away, it's my opinion of that is what's really disturbing. It's my feeling towards it. It's the way that I respond to it. There's literally nothing I could have done about either of those situations or anybody that's died in my life for that matter. But it's my opinion on it. So does that mean that you're not supposed to mourn? I don't think that's what that means, but it's a tool you can use somehow. It's hard to explain how you would use it, but if you kind of think of it that way, if you think about it, all these kind of like basic things in your life, like I was saying with the guy's wife is annoying him, or if somebody does something that bothers you, or if you're thinking about somebody and you're like, that guy gets on my nerves. And it's like, no, that guy doesn't get on your nerves. It's you. That person doesn't have that kind of power over you. He shouldn't. And if you allow that person or that circumstance to change the way you feel, then they do have power over you. So that's something that I think is important to keep in mind, because you don't really want to release that power to anybody or anything, especially some external shit that there's really nothing you can do to control. So you think about it in the sense of graffiti, like if somebody disses your shit, that's, in your opinion, that's a bad thing, but we don't really know what's good or bad. And it's just our opinion on it. Of course, like there's something you can argue like, oh, well, how is it a good thing that if you get dissed? I don't know. It's all your opinion on it. Like some people might not care. Like, I've managed to get to this point where if I put something up at a yard, especially like an illegal yard or somewhere that people get, people paint a lot, as soon as I walk away from that thing, as long as I get my photo and, that's it. It's out of my hands at that point. Whatever happens, happens. If somebody draws a dick on it, or if somebody caps it, or whatever happens, it is what it is, It's a lot easier said than done. So I'm sure if somebody did draw a dick on it, well, that would be fucking funny. But if somebody like crossed it out or something, I might have a slight bit of concern, but I would imagine, and I would hope that I would reel myself back in pretty quickly and be like, you know what? It is what it is. This is the nature of the game that we're playing. And that was beyond my control. So in that sense, if you think about it, it's your choice how you want to respond to that. And it can be frustrating when you go somewhere and there's all these obstacles in your way, like maybe the cops show up at the yard, or, there's nowhere to paint, or whatever the case may be. Something happens with your tools, you forget a color, whatever it is. Your opinion of that situation is entirely up to you. So there's not much more I can say on it, but I'll leave you with one last passage from this chapter. It says, When you blame others for your negative feelings, you are ignorant. When you blame yourself for your negative feelings, you are making progress. You are wise when you stop blaming yourself or others. So do with that what you want. And I hope you're all having a great day. And I will see you again next week. Thanks for listening. All right. Good.
Appreciate each and every one of you guys who are supporting the cause and continue to spread the love. And yeah, stay up.